Let's be seated. We gather here people from different cultures, languages, and countries, people of different faiths, strong in our beliefs of searching for truth and meaning in this world. Representatives of religious groups and organizations, or individuals who wish to act for a better world in order to pray, meditate, discuss, and dream of a world without war, a healed world where peace, justice, and love are law. We gather here around this table dedicated to God and wonder at the chalice upon it, a communion cup, which is not only an old artifact, but also represents the hope of many alive now or already departed. That although our differences, we can come together as one. We also ponder on prophetic sermons of David Ferenc, first bishop of our Unitarian faith, whose book of sermons is here with us today. And now I would like to ask the religious leaders here present, standing around the Lord's table, to say a very, very short prayer and together to light the chalice of hope. First, I would like to ask the Reverend Kolozsvar from the Congess Church of Izur.
Don't without other deities, revering the God of your faith only. 我が信じる神のみを尊びて他の神々を侮ることなかれ。
Thank you. We now ask the Most Reverend Kolozsvar, Archbishop of the Gyulafehérvár Diocese.
Erdély nagy püspöke Mártonáron szavaival imádkozom, amelyik kor várja és ismeri Istent, abban megvalósul a béke, a rend, az igazságosság és a szeretet országa.
Reverend Kulumban Vilmos, Deputy Bishop of the Transylvanian Reformed Church.
Istenünk, a Krisztusban megmutatott szeretetet áraszt ki ránk, hogy békességes jövőnk legyen. Ámen.
Mr. Toshiki Murata from Itoen. The Right Reverend Claudiu, Greek Catholic Bishop.
Doamne, fă din mine un instrument al păcii tale. Acolo unde este ură, eu să aduc iubire. Acolo unde este dezbinare, eu să aduc unitate.
Amen. Mr. Imam Ali Selcin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إن خلقناكم وجعلناكم شهداء إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن صدق الله العظيم.
Mr. Rusbehoriwala from the World Zarathustra Cultural Foundation.
Shnaut hore masdal, Hashem wahu aistam asti, usta asti, usta main, yadashtai, kvarishtai, Hashem, shnaut hore masdal.
The Reverend Boldizsár Beata from the Hungarian Lutheran Church.
Élő Isten, tedd lelkünket lelked templomává. Törsd be szívünket mennyei erőddel, hogy megszűnjön közöttünk minden széthúzás, és egyházad úgy jelenjék meg a világ előtt, mint igazságod oszlopa és alapja. Amen.
For those of you who do not understand the languages, obviously there is projected words in English. Ms. Janvi Gupta from RFYN India.
शुभं करोति कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धि विनाशाय दीपं नमोस्तुते.
The Reverend Gerhard Wagner from the Saxon Lutheran community.
Komm, Heiliger Geist, erfülle die Herzen deiner Gläubigen und entzünde in uns das Feuer deiner göttlichen Liebe, der du in Vielfalt der Sprachen die Völker der ganzen Welt versammelt hast in Einheit des Glaubens.
The Right Reverend Benedict from the Romanian Orthodox Church.
Doamne, cunoaștem slava Ta și să trăim pe pământ în pace și iubire, ca să nu mai fie nici ură, nici război, nici dușmani, ci să împărățească numai iubirea și să nu mai fie nevoie de să fie mai ușor de trăit pe pământ.
God help us that there will be peace on earth, that there will be no more wars, no more battles, and no more armies, and everyone will live in peace. And now I will ask the Right Reverend Tanács István from the Hungarian Unitarian Church to light the light of hope.
We light this candle with the religious representatives here present for it to become a beacon of hope for those that feel lost in a hostile world.
As the light of hope fills not the church itself, but our hearts, we will sing together a song that is common all around the world. We will be helped by the choir of the Unitarian High School of Kolozsvar, Spirit of Life. We also ask our guest religious leaders to take their seats around the table. It's so much. Also, we ask the congregation to sing along with the choir. gather and rejoice in the present moment for our meeting, trying our best to formulate messages of reconciliation. Yet we understand that we are just the present iteration of traditions handed down from one generation to the other. Let us read now, listen, and meditate on the sacred texts that inspire us. We have asked our guests, representatives of different churches, to choose a small text from one of their meaningful or sacred texts, so we understand and we hear the voice of our tradition. First, we ask Reverend Yoshinobu Miyake to read to us this tradition.
Each one of us, every single thing, together with Kami, you, and the world. We come together here at Cluj-Napoca for attending our 36th World Congress to share our ideas and resources for religious freedom under the theme of the faith of reconciliation, faith in reconciliation. May Kami bless our colleagues from the East and West, the North and the South, for enrich our activities and duties today and tomorrow. Thank you.
Mr. Toshiki Murata, please share.
Kuni no komyo ni yorite shinsei shi, yurusarete ikin. 諸州の真髄を礼拝し、期日の対案に参禅。懺悔のために奉仕し、法縁のために行決せん。法の真理に従い、世帯を上善。すなわち、天下共同に帰り、理想の楽園に徴用せん。
Thank you. Mr. Imam Ali Serchin, read us from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهر وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الرحمة من الرحمة وكبرهما كما ربياني صغيرا ربكم أعلم بما في نفوسكم إن تكونوا صالحين فإنه كان للأولين غفورا وآت ذا الحق قربه والمسكين وابن السبيل ولا تبذر تبذيرا إن المبذرين كانوا يطيعون الشياطين وكان الشيطان لربه كفورا صدق الله العظيم آمين.
I ask now Mr. Uzbe Odiwala.
شنوت هور مسداو نیم سته آتش مسداو اهوراه هداهو مهشتا یزتا یتا اهوریو یتا رتوش اتارتیشتا وانگیوش دستا منینگیوش شاتنا وانگیوش مستای کشنتا اهوراه آیین تده گاپیو تده دوستا دنی شنوت هور مسداو
Cristian Vigupte.
अस्तु मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Bishop Kovács István will read from the New Testament, the sacred texts for all the Christian denominations.
The Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid.
After listening to the wisdom of these sacred texts, let us take a moment and remain in silence. Meditate the things that we have heard. Listen to the music that will be played with the organ, and find our place here in this sacred place and in this sacred moment. Now I ask Bishop Kovács István for a short lesson.
May the different light beams of our different faith traditions shine together and get united into the effort to bring reconciliation and peace into every corner of this troubled world. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.
When we cannot understand the words, because they are uttered in a different language. We look for other means to communicate, and the best one is music. So let us sing. With the help of the Unitarian choir, let us sing together, "This is my song." We will have the chance to continue singing the lyrics in our heads. After this song and after this short worship, I invite Mr. Robert Ince, President of the International Association for Religious Freedom, to deliver his opening thoughts.
I stand before you as a representative of liberal faiths from all around the world. And we have gathered here this week in fellowship to think and discuss the role of faith groups in the process of reconciliation. All around the world, in places close to us here and far away, many are searching for peace. Not just the absence of war and armed conflict, but the ability to live alongside our fellow humans without fear. Time and again, when wars have come to an end, the hurt, the distrust, and resentment still remain, and often linger around until the conflict is reignited once more. When war and armed conflict have come to an end, we need to find a way of living together again. Not just with our friends in our communities, but with those who chose to oppose us, those who have caused so much damage and heartache. We need to reconcile with our enemies and find a way to live together in peace again. As religious leaders and people of faith, which in itself is a rare commodity these days, we are, it seems, uniquely trusted to be honest brokers in the search for peace and reconciliation. So here, for the next 3 days, I welcome you all and invite you to participate with love and compassion, to share your thoughts and ideas. The International Association for Religious Freedom, the IARF, is the world's oldest international interfaith organization. This is our 36th World Congress since 1900, and we are proud to still be making our contribution to religious freedom around the world. It is not particularly easy, particularly in this age of mass communication, to get our voice heard. We do not enjoy the same financial support as those who work for largest religious communities. But we do represent a collective voice for those of smaller faith groups whose way of thinking is far less restricted by tradition and dogma. So it is important that our voice is heard. I am very grateful to the Bishop for inviting us to gather here and for providing so much support in making this Congress happen. That we have with us so many representatives from all faith groups here in this city is in itself a testament to the willingness of all people of faith to work together for the benefit of the world as a whole. I hope we can look forward to 3 days of sharing our thoughts and ideas and return to our homes more enlightened and more determined to play our part in making the world a better and more peaceful place. May God go with you.
Dear Mr. President, thank you very much for your thoughts that you have shared today here with us. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Ciprian Vasilolinic, Romanian Secretary of State for Religious Affairs, to present his speech. Mr. Secretary of State Olinic will deliver his speech in Romanian, but you can find the English translation. You can hear the English translation on Channel 5.
Domnule Episcop Covacisvan, înalt preasfințiile voastre, stimați reprezentanți, stimate reprezentante ai diferitelor religii, credințe și tradiții, doamnelor și domnilor. Mă bucur pentru șansa acordată de a mă alătura unor voci atât de importante precum cele aflate astăzi aici, în cadrul acestui eveniment prestigios. Complexul context european și complexul context internațional pe care îl traversăm reprezintă un moment cel puțin interesant de analiză conceptului general de libertate religioasă, parte a drepturilor fundamentale ale omului, așa cum este el privit astăzi în societățile democratice. Pe de altă parte, medităm în această zi și la relația dintre stat și culte, construită pe principiul libertății religioase, un principiu atât de important. Libertatea religioasă, consacrată prin articolul 9 al Convenției Europene a Drepturilor Omului, prin articolul 29 al Constituției României privind libertatea de conștiință, este înțeleasă în România de astăzi în spiritul valorilor democratice liberale europene, regăsit într-un concept mai larg și în articolul 18 al Declarației Universale a Drepturilor Omului. Îmi propun să evidențiez în mod deosebit aspectul activ al libertății religioase, de forum extern, manifestare externă a acesteia. Astfel, statul român, alături de alte state ale comunității europene, înțelege nu doar să recunoască și să apere dreptul fundamental al libertății religioase, ci să încurajeze exercitarea lui de către cetățeni. Regăsim în această raportare contribuția definitorie a Bisericii Unitariene din România la introducerea conceptului modern de libertate religioasă, așa cum a fost el formulat în Declarația Dietei Transilvaniei de la Turda din 1568. Consider că dobândirea unui loc central în mentalul colectiv european, atât la nivel politic, cât și social, al manifestărilor ce reflectă bogăția spirituală și culturală aparținând comunităților religioase, este un demers ce trebuie încurajat. Europa de astăzi și România în egală măsură ar fi săvârșite nu doar din punct de vedere al necesității conservării unei tradiții definitorii, ci mai ales prin prisma viitorului, fără această preocupare față de spectrul mai larg al conceptului de libertate religioasă. În fața ascensiunii unor tendințe de radicalizare și de divizare, valorile privind toleranța și acceptarea celuilalt, crearea unui teren fertil dialogului și întâlnirii, toate principii izvorâte din însuși corpul doctrinar al cultelor recunoscute, pot constitui instrumente esențiale pe care nu avem dreptul să le ignorăm. În ceea ce privește raportul dintre stat și culte în România, acesta este construit pe viziunea care să corespundă realităților actuale ale societății românești. Secretariatul de Stat pentru Culte, instituție specializată a Guvernului României în dialogul dintre stat și culte, promovează un model de relație stat-culte flexibil, menit să sprijine și să pună în valoare cât mai bine contribuția comunităților de credință religioase la viața socială. Din acest punct de vedere, considerăm că este necesar un dinamism crescut în ceea ce privește susținerea activităților în plan cultural, social și educativ realizate de cultele din România. Realitățile evidențiate în ultimele luni în societatea românească își pot găsi rezolvarea în urmarea modului în care comunitățile religioase din România aleg și știu să răspundă acestora pe baza unor practici experimentate și inspirate de însăși definiția misiunii declarate. Bunele practici privind conservarea patrimoniului național, valorificarea trăsăturilor identitare în spirit democratic și deschiderea față de pluralismul religios, cultural și spiritual, educarea noilor generații pe valori perene, exercitarea libertății religioase prin activități specifice, implicarea socială construită pe respectul față de demnitatea persoanei umane, reprezintă nu doar argumente privind necesitatea sprijinului statului față de toate aceste demersuri, ci surse de inspirație și noi cadre de colaborare între stat și culte în România prezentului. În mod special, consider important să evidențiez rolul esențial al Bisericii Unitariene din România în educarea tinerilor generații. Rezultatele acestei fac cinste nu doar istoriei învățământului transilvanian, ce reprezintă lumini edificatoare pentru sensurile adânci ale drepturilor fundamentale, așa cum le privim noi astăzi. Vă mulțumesc!
Domnule secretar de stat, vă mulțumim pentru gândurile dumneavoastră și pentru prezența dumneavoastră. Dear Mr. Secretary of State, thank you for your thoughts and for your presence today. Finally, I invite the Right Reverend Kolozsvar, Bishop of the Hungarian Unitarian Church, to present his thoughts.
I will be speaking English, so those who would like to hear it in Hungarian, they can use the translator. I think one or two. We're gonna find out. Tehát akik fordítást szeretnének magyarul, angolul fogom ezt felolvasni, azok a egyes vagy kettős gombbal tudják ezt magyarul hallgatni. Dear Mr. President of the IARF, dear Mr. Secretary of State, dear religious leaders, dear siblings in faith. Please allow me to call you this, siblings in faith. For although we worship in different ways, and sometimes we do have very different tenets of belief, we cherish together in our hearts and minds a dream of humanity living in peace, in dignity, and searching together for meaning and happiness. For this common dream that we dream together, please allow me to call you all, despite of our differences, my siblings. It is a great joy and honor for us, Hungarian Unitarians, to welcome you in our homeland. Looking around this place, seeing the work of IARF, the theme of this Congress, and my own tradition, I see how all these elements are intertwined to form a net of meaning and source of wisdom. For I have the honor to welcome you on the land of religious freedom, where in 1568, the Diet of then separate country Transylvania accepted the Edict of Religious Tolerance, permitting all Christian denominations here present to live in relative peace and without bloodshed. I look to the communion chalice, this one on this table, that has been with us since the beginning of the Protestant Reformation in this city, symbol of our unity in our diversity. And from this perspective, I look back at the history of IARF, the worldwide struggle for interreligious dialogue and for peace. And finally, in these troubled times, I ponder on the title of our Congress, Faith in Reconciliation, and realize how all these elements become one, start to emanate truths, not just for us, but for everyone. As we look through our present times, we see the importance of reconciliation, of peace and dialogue. Reconciliation today is not only important, it is urgent, and it is necessary. We have all the means and tools to work for it. We can easily understand its importance now as we feel the threat of a world catastrophe. Yet, as can be seen all around us on a daily basis, we fail to strive for it. Why is it so? We may ask. Because reconciliation is hard, because it starts with you and I, the individual, then passes on to the organization, the community, and then, and only then, we'll be able to become universal. Because real, lasting reconciliation is possible only through faith, through that kind of spiritual dimension, which we all in our different religious tradition can reach by prayers and spiritual practices that will lift us above our selfish ego in the peace and generosity of the eternal. And here we can understand the other party, the friend, the enemy, whoever it can be. Reconciliation starts with the individual. You cannot have peace if you are not at peace. And you can only come to peace and reconcile within yourself if you will reconcile with the eternal. However you may call it. In your religious practice, in the light of your faith, you need to take long moments of introspection to see yourself for who you are, flayed in some sense and perfect in others. But this introspection is not enough. One needs to bring to the table through the perspective of God, one's history, its tradition, and the universal meaning of all that can be seen as of ultimate value and guiding principle. Only with these values, with these cherished gifts, might one hope to find inner peace and step on the path of reconciliation. And the same stands for larger communities, organizations, and nations alike. Standing here on this symbolical place, in these symbolical moments, I express my hope that through our faith within our different religious paths that are emerging from the same source, we all will be able at this Congress, and we'll be able generally in our life as well to find our way to reconcile, first with ourselves, then on in our communities, societies, enemies, to find everywhere in this world friends. May God help us to be so. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. Before we continue, we have a little surprise. This is a surprise for all of you, because it was based on how good we are with time. But because we did good and we still have a little bit of time, we would like to give you as a gift a little Transylvanian folk song sung by two of our students at the Unitarian High School, Kolozsvar and Login Onet. It's just 1.5 minutes of a folk song. Please accept this gift from us to you. celebration will continue with a short technical break, after which we will invite Professor George Williams to deliver his keynote speech entitled Remembering History as a Prelude to Reconciliation. For all of those that cannot stay with us for the keynote speech, we thank you for your participation and invite you to join us for our Congress. Yet we would like to encourage everyone that after these maybe 10 minutes break, we stay together and listen to Professor George Williams's keynote speech. Thank you very much. Yes?